I'm Charlotte McLeod with investingnews.com, and here today with me is Chen Lin of Lin Asset Management. Thank you so much for being here. Great to have you back once again.
Thank you, Charlotte. Glad to be back.
Really good to be speaking with you. Probably the perfect time. I wanted to follow up on a few topics that we touched on the last time we spoke all the way back in March. So we talked at the time about gold, silver, and critical minerals. So we'll go into all of those three today. Maybe starting off with gold, because gold has just been making headline after headline in the last few weeks at record highs on this run. I'm wondering if you can start by breaking down what is the main gold price driver that you see right now?
Right now, is investors start waking up to gold. Okay, there's a report, pretty good report. That's basically in Asia, rich people start allocate 10% to gold. I mean, in the West, still maybe less than 1%. So that's a movement. Second movement, there is a pickup in the central bank buying from China last month. Actually, Goldman came out with a report that China actually probably going to buy more gold, because right now the situation in China is even despite the trade war with the United States and with other countries, China's trade surplus is growing rapidly. Last year is $1 trillion US dollar. This year is going to be much more than 1 trillion. So where are they going to park the money? So in Goldman, I think they will increase the gold purchase by a few 100% from now on, and then continue buy for next 3 to 5 years to reach a certain plateau. But very interestingly, recently the stock in China's gold future market just going parabolically. That actually precedes the recent gold breakout. Gold breakout about 2 weeks ago, almost exactly. That's a very good timely interview, by the way, Charlotte. So you pick the right time. So gold broke out is after the parabolic move of the gold stock in China's future. Because gold has been range bound for a long time, and then suddenly started breaking out 2 weeks ago. Precede that, it's a big movement of China's stock in Shanghai and other stock exchange, future exchange. So I see what it does is first, China accelerate gold purchase, and then so well-informed Chinese investor probably heard of that. That's first. Second, I think probably Goldman report is right. China going to buy more gold, and then Chinese citizens want to front run the Chinese government.
That's really interesting. Thank you for going into that, because, when I've been asking about what's driving gold right now over the last couple of weeks, a lot of what I'm hearing about is with more of a Western focus, where we're talking about, well, the Fed has this upcoming meeting, probably going to see interest rate cuts from the Fed. How do you factor that into when you're looking at the gold market?
Oh yeah, it will help. Like the Fed will cut this week, right? Basically, it's 25% and not 50%. And then United States government turn out the job report is much weaker than I didn't mention that because I know everybody seems to focus on that. So I saw your people are well informed, but we lost actually the down revision of almost 1 million jobs, right, in the past year. So United States the economy looking weaker, Fed is going to cut, US dollar is about to break down. So all these help gold. What I'm saying is that why the gold suddenly broke out 2 weeks ago, I think one of the contribution, in fact, I'm happy to send you the chart, is the parabolic move of the China gold holding.
Yeah, really interesting to go into that. And so we're talking about the Western interest in gold is still not there. You're mentioning probably not even above 1% at this point. At what point do you think the West does start to wake up to, okay, something is going on here. Maybe we need to increase the amount of gold that we own?
Yeah, there is a talk on the bond market. This is a seriously problem. Right now, there's a lot of resemblance of 70s, right? The inflation is still relatively high. The economy is weak, and the bond market is having a terrible year, right? So Bank of America is pointing out is basically anything but bond, anything but US in their report. So it's a lot of money parking in the bond traditionally, but if the inflations continue to be high, the bond will be weak. That's a problem. For the bond investor, they will be losing money. So when those money coming out, we're going to be the overpriced stock market, or they could diversify some into gold. I think that will drive gold, especially silver. It's more even more favorite, even higher. So I'm quite happy with gold and silver.
Well, and I was going to ask you about the implication of all these factors for the gold price. So, of course, we have gold really on the move, especially over the last couple of weeks. If you look forward, what do you see? Where do you see gold ending, let's say 2025 at in terms of the price?
Oh, that's very hard. That's very hard to predict. My hope, frankly, as a gold investor, that gold will not make a parabolic move. Gold just go up because it has a 3,500 for a long time. So this move hopefully go to 4,000 around and stay there for some time. Right. The issues is if you make a parabolic move, it will be could be a very sharp correction in the 70, like 70 as well. That's where hurt the gold mining companies' sentiment. So I hope gold just slowly, my hope, but I could be wrong, go slowly grinding higher, maybe 4,000 by the end of the year, maybe 45 next year. But the gold mining company, most of the company cost is about 1,500. So their margins are increasing. The margin is so much higher than Walmart, and they did not recognize that right now. So I think I like gold mining company, and I just discussed a little bit with you and telling my subscribers when gold broke out the 2 weeks, I started buying gold call options because my stock has gone up so much, some as high as 1,000%. So I don't want to chase them, so I buy call options, and they're doing well so far.
Yeah, maybe it's a good time to talk a little bit more about your strategy when it comes to the gold stocks right now. So the call options is one way that you're taking a look. Are you looking at companies of all sizes, or are you honing in any specific area? How are you looking at it?
Yeah, I'm first I manage my family's asset. Also write a newsletter. I tell the ideas. I like liquid stock because my family has a sizable asset base. So one note I always like is the producer, and so it's very liquid. If you don't like it, you can get out almost in 1 day, right? So, but my producer has been appreciated so much, so I cannot really chase at this moment. But then I saw gold breakout, so I just buy call options. You can try even GDX call option. My GDX call option almost doubled. I mean, in 2 weeks. So there are so many avenues you can play. My strategy tend to be aggressive because if you look at the historical gold bull and bust, and a lot of when they go down, it basically a lot of times wipe out all the gains, especially in gold mining company as before. So I always have this urgency when in the bull market, I need to maximize my profit. And then when the market start to turn one day, always do. I mean, so I will play conservatively, try to do the capital conservation, try to avoid the downdraft or, reduce the loss of the downdraft, but maximize the profit on the upswing. So gold typically enter a season. If you know that, very well, the gold is seasonal. September, October is the Indian New Year, Christmas, and Chinese New Year, January and February. So in this period, gold physical demand is high. And so gold typically do well. So that's why I'm buying call options into, early next year. Hopefully, I've been done that before. I got 10, 20 baggers relatively easily. So I hope I can repeat that. And then, with the profit, we can put something else. Maybe critical metal, maybe silver, maybe juniors. I also heavily invest in junior. Junior tend to move differently versus producer. Junior has its own pattern. So, they may not move as much as a producer, frankly, when we have this move, some stock. So you can always, hopefully I take profit next year, and then I look at the other juniors to invest. Also other sector like critical metal, which I'm very, very excited about.
I think it's really good to cover the timing because people look at this and they wonder, okay, well, when is the time to get in? When is the time to get out? So good to take a look at your strategy there. Just a little bit more on the gold companies. So you mentioned with the price being so high, the gold producers are doing well. We're starting to see some pretty big M&A activity in the gold space, in the mining space as well. Are you liking what you see there? Do these transactions make sense? And what do you see coming forward when it comes to M&A activity?
Yes. I always like MMA, but I don't like the purchase. I like to being purchase, right? The stock. Recently the Hamlo purchase, right? So the Barrick, which happens, the target company I own. I mean, I'm very happy. I mean, the stock is halted right now. They're doing a deal at $2 and very happy. So see where it's trading at. I think that's a good purchase. There's quite a few. I think it will accelerate. So you want to buy those companies with a good asset, or to be bought. So that's my advice. So I love the M&A, but sometimes at the top of the market, the big gold company, they tend to overpay. so that's something you need to keep in mind.
Yeah, gotta be careful there. And let's take a look over at silver as well. So also really exciting price moves in silver. We saw it get past 40 and even $42 per ounce. And this is something that investors have been waiting for a long time for. So I'll ask you the same question I asked with gold. What is driving this move in silver that we have been waiting for quite some time?
Yeah, there's multiple fold. We have silver deficit for past 4 or 5 years. So if you notice, when the deficit after 3 years, sometimes metal can make a very dramatic move, just like platinum. It suddenly jumped right after 4 years of deficit. So before palladium also made a similar move. So those are small metals take some time for investors to realize that. That's one thing. And second, silver versus gold. If you look at the 30-year, I actually put a chart together, 35 years gold and versus silver. You see silver should be much higher. Silver should be triple digit. So that's another. And then the third, there's a call for the central bank to go back to silver standard. Remember, silver used to be the monetary metal, and then it dropped monetary metal. So people with gold, people also thinking about silver. Maybe we should have a silver dollar back. U.S. and Canada, we used to have that as early as 60s, right? So 1960. I see silver should break the $50 historical high, and I'm hoping to triple digit silver in the next few years.
Hopefully we can see that finally. Just going back to the central bank angle, do you think central banks would buy silver?
That's a very good question. That's a $1 million question. So I heard Russia already make some move to make silver one of the monetary metals. Russia already did. That will put pressure on China, very heavy pressure, because China historically silver is monetary metal, right? If you go to China, bank means silver. In Chinese, okay, bank means silver. So basically, in the culture-wise, and also on historical, in history, people remember silver as the money. So they could, if the Chinese central bank make a move, the silver can really run. But I don't know whether they will or they will not. But it's pressures on.
Yeah, that would be quite something, I think. And I want to ask you about the silver stocks as well, how you're approaching, because we know, of course, that there are fewer silver companies out there than gold companies. So what is your approach right now when it comes to the silver stocks?
Yeah, I generally stock picking. I do stock picker. I pick number one silver stock. Actually, it's mine. This year, number one silver, actually number 5 on the Canada in all the stock. Okay, I think I was invite them to present on my panel early this year. So investor, if they realize that they buy at that time, they will be number one stock, silver stock. That's I'm very happy. Number two, actually also mine, Fresnillo. I already sold it because it's trading in London, time zone difference. I mean, I made a good money. Coeur, probably number three silver stock. I already start selling. It reached 10-year high recently this week and still going higher. So I started to trend. Right now, I'm more focused on First Majestic. Why I like First Majestic, it's a highly leveraged silver. 60% revenue is silver. So silver move, First Majestic tend to be the most leveraged stock. Okay, so I have stock, I have core options. So far so good. Core option already up 100% in a week. So stock also up multiple fold. So then those are I think it has momentum because the silver goes, so goes First Majestic. That's happened historically so many times. I'm hoping for much higher price, or much higher. Hope my option will be 10-20 bagger by early next year. So that's typical. I mean, I have those the silver stock, and then I also have this used to be a silver crest and now quarterly on. I mean, they appreciate so much. A lot of silver stock already appreciate so much, and the one haven't really appreciate a lot Endeavour silver, but they have some little bit startup issues. So if you're if it's people need to take some risk to invest in. That's a producer. For juniors, one of my favorite, it has been Cerro Pasco. They going to present 2 weeks from here on my panel. So I hope investor to take a look. This could be the superstar. Not silver also has some critical metal. So have the 2-in-1. So again, investing stock very, very risky. You have to read all the disclaimers on your website, on my website, just to make sure you're getting the right stock. Do your own analysis.
Absolutely. That's so important. And just one more note on silver. So there was some excitement, I think, a few weeks ago at this point when the US released its new draft critical minerals list. And silver was on there. So I don't know if it's quite official yet, but looks like it's heading in that direction. So what are your thoughts on that? Does silver make sense as a critical mineral for you?
Yeah, absolutely. You hit it right on the nail. That's another thing I want to talk. The US released a critical mineral, and then there's a chart on which metals, how important they are to the United States. Silver actually is there. I mean, believe it or not, it's there. And I'm so happy that it's been recognized as one of the critical minerals. And maybe it's wake up some investor to put more money into silver. Again, silver market is relatively small, so not a lot of money can really move it. And so that's one thing about silver is, when they really move, wake up one day, it's up $10. I mean, it happened before. I've been through that. So that's my experience. And I'm heavily in silver stock, core options, and then silver future. So, my plan is the silver hit 50. I'll take some off future market, not in stock, but I think it will blow through 50. Maybe I'll take profit in $100.
Makes sense. And so let's continue on the critical minerals angle. This is another topic we talked about toward the beginning of the year. So I think everybody knows, especially now with all the tariffs in place, how important critical minerals are becoming. But there's so many metals that now are critical. So it's maybe difficult for investors to know, okay, which should I focus on? So when it comes to critical minerals, where are you focusing at the moment? What do you see as the most important?
Right. So there is a list. I think I'm happy to send you the chart. You can take a look. Published by United States government only a few weeks ago. So I have silver in it, and also listed the 5 most important metal that to the United States that China control almost 100%. That costs United States $15 billion. The first time they quantify that, $15 billion a year. Okay, that's a number. That's a 4 is a heavy rare earths, selenium. Those. I'll send you the name because it's very hard for me to pronounce. I mean, but the 5th one is gallium. Okay, so the top 5, you can see that. You can see the value. But most importantly, is also heavily used in the military. So if we cannot produce fighter jet, that's cannot quantify. So it's probably could be even higher. Very interestingly, in Barron's magazine, just last weekend, the cover page of Barron's magazine is rare earths. That's very good. So that means mainstream investors are looking at the rare earths. But unfortunately, as I explained to you, I think it's a terribly written article. It's really not Barron's standard. That guy doesn't really have a detailed understanding of the different rare earths, that how they're important. They don't have the picture, even the United States government picture, which rare earth is more important. And also doesn't understand the mining and processing are two different things. Mining, China only mining 50%, but China is processing 90%, more than 90% rare earths. Okay, so processing actually more important than mining to the United States. So that's why I really like a little company which I own from, for a few years, called the Energy Fuel, UUUU. So because it has only processing plant in the United States, already start producing heavy rare earths. So when they announced, the announcement came out last week, even I heard from some feedback from China, so, United States gap is not 5 years, maybe it's 3 years. If government really gave them money, maybe 2 years, so they can catch up with the heavy rare earths. But market really doesn't see that. I mean, haven't recognized. So that's actually another discovery process. That takes some time for investors to realize if not every rare earth is the same. And also there's rare metals like gallium, germanium. Germanium going to be important too. That because it's the solid state battery I saw coming out later this year and early next year. The Chinese already start making those. They're actually very heavy in germanium. So germanium is going to be another hot metal. So those are the super critical to the United States, and then 100% controlled by China, almost 100%. Right? So gallium is 98%, germanium, no, number is very, very close to 100%. So those are most important to the United States. I think maybe take a few months for investors to realize that it is every rare earth is different and every company is different.
Yeah, and there are so many of them. It can be really hard, I think, to get a handle on it at first, but maybe we are coming into that time when people's awareness grows. So what do you think? So clearly there is emphasis right now from the US on having critical minerals mining come back into the country and hopefully the processing as well. How well do you think the US is doing at this time? What would you want to see maybe more of at right now?
Well, and if you look at the China and then United States just had another round of talk in Spain with no results. I think one of the trump card China have is rare earths and other critical metals. So I think United States government also is a learning process for them to realize what hurt United States the most. But they're so already there. I mean, if you dig a little bit deeper, you realize those metals are super, super critical to the United States. And I think maybe in a few months, investor will recognize how important those metals are. So for us, we want to position ourselves before people recognize that. So that's another reason I like Cerro Pasco. They probably have the largest gallium deposit outside China, and so that's not just silver. Also, it's a rare earth, real critical metal play. So 2 in 1.
Yeah, nice to see those together. And any other areas that you are focusing right now that you see as good investment opportunities?
Yeah, other mining area. I mean, I'm mostly into those. I think those are pretty heavy in mining. I also in some copper. I like copper. So there's one company, McEwen Mining, I really like because they're going to copper unit going to be IPO in a few months. And then the valuation of the copper unit will, believe it or not, the shareholder own will be higher than the current market cap. So that's almost like and then they also have a very nice gold business going. You get the gold for free. So that's the thing I like, and I already own that for some time. Stock and call options for disclosure.
Okay, well, I think this was really good. It feels like we went through the main focuses in your strategy right now. But before I let you go, any final thoughts that you would leave investors with? It's definitely an exciting time at the moment.
Yeah, my thought is always the investor. We are in this run, right? In this gold and silver run. I hope investors maximize profit. Look, using the opportunity, maximize the profit, because we have been down for so many years, and the rebound can be very, very sharp. And I seems, especially in a lot of stocks too, we're in the early phase. So hopefully, investor maximize your profit and protect your profit when the market peak. So I hope it won't happen. Doesn't look like going to happen next few months, but in a few years it could peak, and then that's something always keep in your mind.
Okay, well, I think those are really good words to end on. So thank you so much for coming on to talk today. It was great to get your updated thoughts on what's going on in the resource sector.
Thank you, Charlotte. Great to talk to you again.
Of course, once again, I'm Charlotte McLeod with investingnews.com, and this is Chen Lin.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We'd also love to hear your thoughts, so leave us a comment below.